Hi, I'm Olivia, and I'm going to be talking about verbal and nonverbal communications through some pictures. So this is the first photograph I picked, and I picked this photograph because I feel like it kind of just like stood out on like how his facial expressions were like kind of just like making the picture how it is. So like his face was lit up with like joy and he had like an open smile. You can tell like his eyebrows are raised a little bit, showing some excitement. And then he also is like mid laugh as well, it looks like. Um, and then I also like his hat and holding it above his head. That can be like symbolized as like showing like respect and politeness, like taking it off and like if people behind him are like um I guess like looking up to him in a way. Um so that could like um represent like gratitude or admiration. And then his body language shows that he's like relaxed with his hands above his head, leaning back with his chest forward, um, kind of just like standing. And then his outfit represents that he could be working in a rural setting. And I think just because like the trees in the background and it looks like the axe that he has leaning up against his legs. This is the second photograph I chose. I chose this one because it just kind of like stood out in like a way of like it felt like he was proud of something he was doing. So he has a small smirk on his face, but he's relaying that he's proud of his work and he wants to prove that he's tough and built for working in the mines. He's standing casually against the mining cart with one hand on his hip. This portrays authority and self-confidence. He wants to show that he's comfortable in his role and what he's doing is what he wants to be doing. The clothing he's wearing is heavy duty with no skin showing, meaning that he's working in a place where he needs to be protected, potentially in a dangerous environment. He's wearing a helmet and that has a light on it, so that can be showing that he is working in a place where it's dark and underground. And yeah, this is the third photograph I chose. I chose this one just because it kind of stood out of like how what he was wearing and like his facial expressions shows that like he is very serious. And with like his wide eyes and his eyebrows raised, he's not just like smiling at all either. He's kind of like creating an intense look. He's seated upright with strong posture, shoulders back, and it look seems to be like someone who like has power and authority over people, just by the way he's posing and standing. He's dressed in very formal attire with a plaid jacket, vest, and tie. He has a pocket watch hanging that's clipped to his jacket, which also could represent like a more wealthy person too. He does have a star pin or badge hanging from the left of his chest, which could represent military or high social status. This last picture I chose because I felt like it didn't show much of a story with like the outside cues, but more just in facial expressions, kind of in like how this woman is feeling. So she has slightly of a raised eyebrow, which also she's not looking straight into the camera, kind of like off to the side a little bit. She is not smiling, has more tight lips. Um, She is aware of what's going on, but does not want to show her discomfort, which makes me feel like she does, like she looks like she's uncomfortable with being around the camera. That's kind of like what I was talking about with her eyes, not like being directly at the camera, but she still wants to look at them a little bit. The way she's positioned, she might feel like she feels vulnerable in a way, not facing the camera fully, kind of with one shoulder turned away and like her arms crossed. Um, so yeah. That they're just very prominent nonverbal cues that someone may feel uncomfortable.